can you see this person's perspective,
Right.
but can you see beyond this barrier that is in front of you right now? And we do get to that place of gratitude and actually appreciation. Now, it takes us refusing to stay in a victim mindset in order to do that.
My goodness. Welcome. And I'm Devon O'Day. And there's my compadre up on the top over there. We're doing Hollywood Squares today because that's what we're doing. Teri Pugh, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I am. How are you doing?
Wonderful. And we got a day that is speaking to my soul. And we got the Organista on with us today. Do you want to tell me how the two of you met? Now, I know we met down at Old Smoky at our Gospel Bird Jubilee, but because oh no,
can you hear me?
I can't.
Well, you know what? And we're gonna talk for just a second.
Oh,
she's gonna try again.
all right.
We're gonna work again, and
that's life, right?
It is life.
Sometimes we get a hiccup. We just roll with it.
Well, before we start with the Organista, our special guest for today, I want you to tell me about the big payback and your connection with Peniel Ridge.
Oh, girl, I would love to. I am on the board at Peniel Ridge, and not only am I on the board there, prior to being on the board there, I facilitated workshops there and retreats there over the past several years, and that place has holds my heart, and I absolutely, so that's where all my focus and my attention is going, on the big payback this go around. And so I'll be posting more on my social media pages later, so anybody wants to join me, I would love to have it. So yeah, that place feels like it is, I say, the best kept secret, and I wish it wasn't so that it was that. It is just such a sacred, sweet space just outside of Nashville. It's hard to imagine that places like that even really exist, but man, it's like
we're going to take a little tour.
Girl,
I feel like I've been on vacay.
I'm telling you, my heart just was like, zing. I love.
Yeah, I can't hear Teri for some reason, but I can hear you, Devon.
You can hear me now and not Teri.
I can hear you and now not Teri.
Well, that stinks.
You know,
Well,
Well,
I love-
that's because I'm going to ask you to tell us what you do. This is Miss Jackie Wilson, the Organista. Tell us what you do,
Hi,
baby girl.
everybody. Well, I help people put their things where they really belong. That's a little tagline that I came up with several years ago when I first came up with the name. I can't take full credit because my mom came up with the name and said, you should call it the Organista. And I thought, oh, that's great. That's so cute. And I have a passion for helping people get organized and stay organized. And just, the more I've been doing this professionally since the pandemic started, it has just really become evident to me just how far back the organization goes. I mean, I can remember as far back as probably 6 or 7 years old.
Crazy. Well,
So-
take a look at this. This is one of those pictures from your Instagram page that it just makes you want to. It's like, I would love clean lines to my house. Putting your stuff where it really belongs and having something that is restful. I'm going to let Teri tell us a little bit about the effect that organizing has on a psyche. What does it do for you as a person?
Well, as an individual, everything having its place gives a sense of I won't say, well, I will say belonging, but it gives an inner peace where stresses are reduced, anxieties can be reduced,
Mm-hmm.
and even procrastination can be reduced, which is fantastic.
Well, procrastination is something that I deal with a lot, but I'm going to show. We're going to go through some before and afters that will blow you out of the water. And I just, because I need you. This is my life.
Oh yeah.
This is my life. Now, this is not actually my life. This is somebody else's life. Looks like mine.
Right.
Yeah. That was 21 years worth of accumulation in that house. And we had to just kind of go through everything and get rid of it and put it where it really belongs and to get the house ready to sell.
Nice.
Take a look.
Yeah. Look at that.
Can't get over this. I cannot get over. I mean, it's like this miracle fairy. You're a miracle fairy. Now take a look at this. Now, this is the way that I store things. Now, this is not my house, but it could be. This has a lot of guys stuff. So I don't know, but let's see. There is an after. Holy moly mackerel. Just knowing how you make it look like it's displayed. I mean, how many caps do you need? But the truth is you need them all. We need all our caps.
Exactly.
When you go in, what do you face? Do you find people get really emotional when you start messing with their stuff?
Yeah, some do. I think that when they finally are ready for me to come in and actually go through scheduling and setting the appointment and everything like that, I think that they're finally ready to let go, but there's still a little bit of emotions that go with that, but they are finally like mentally prepared to do what needs to be done. And there might still be some little spots where it's like, but I'm really, really good. I'm very intuitive and empathetic. So, and I'm also human. So it's like, hey, I get it. I have my own stuff that I'm like, well, I don't get rid of that yet. Or, but I'm very open to, I'm like, look, if you call me, you're ready to make a change. And I am there and I'm your leader the whole way. And I lead the ship to that change, basically.
Now there are people that go
meet with the client. I talk with them, and go ahead.
When people they have their stuff and they go, my house is just great. My house is neat. My house is clean. It's always organized. And then you go to the pantry, and the pantry is organized. If I can get this picture to come up here, now that is a lot of people's. I ain't laughing. I ain't judging. I ain't going to judge because mine looks worse than this. So you get that and you put things aside and you have things organized the way you it makes sense to you, but you spend hours and you go, I don't want to cook. And this stress in this pantry will make you say, I'm not even going in the kitchen. But when it looks like this is like a store.
Right. That looks
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And some clients have, big budgets for all the fancy dangly containers, and that's great. And then other clients are like, I'd rather like just use what I've got, and I'm always open to both. So I just there's a lot more in the home that can be utilized than people realize, but it's just having an eye for that and a knack for, using other things to create space.
Teri, you're a very organized person. Now, do you how do you keep very clean lines, and you're a gifter. You give things away. Now, Teri, tell me about how you cull things out.
Well, I mean, I actually, as woo-woo as it sounds, I actually talk to my stuff. So like if I pick up something and it really doesn't speak to me anymore, or I haven't used it in a while, then I'll just rehome it. And I rather than, the thrift stores are my last option. I love to take stuff to my office, and every few months or so, clients will come in and there's just this bin of stuff. And I'm just like, take what you want. And folks will find things that resonate with them. And I'm so happy that I might not be using it, but someone else can find a good use for it. And I know Jackie can't hear me right now, but one thing I want you to ask her is to speak a little bit about the importance of when you hire her to organize, not having the expectation that she'll go in and just get rid of your stuff for you. Like the client actually has to play a role in the declutter phase.
Yeah, this Jackie, I wanted to ask you that people are terrified of you throwing away something without their permission. They don't want to hire an organizer because they go, it'll look good, but then where's my stuff? And then there's also that added thing. And Suzanne writes in to say it's very hard to let go.
About embarrassment.
Mm-hmm. I would be embarrassed for my closet and attic to gone through.
Right. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I can't hear Teri, but we've talked already a little bit, so I kind of know where her mind is with all this stuff. And one thing I want to add or interject is definitely speaking about what if somebody throws something away that's important? Well, I'm very, very, very cautious and careful, and we go through every little thing before I do anything, so that I know and have a mental note, or we have piles of like, this is definitely keep, this is, so I don't just go in there without the person's help. It's definitely it's a relation, like it's both of us doing it, even though I'm going to be doing the majority of the organization setup. But as far, if I don't know you personally, then I don't know what is really, important to you. And so I definitely try to go through that first. And then as far as embarrassment goes, trust me, there is no judgment here. I wish that I had a picture of my childhood home that they were doing inspections on the alarm systems when we lived in Florida, my mother and I. And I was about, I guess, 11 or 12, and about 10 or 11, somewhere around there. And they called my mom and said, "Oh my God, Tina, like you've got to come down here. Your house has been broken into." And so she goes down there, and we had been living in this apartment for a good 3 to 6 months, already, but like nothing had really fully been unpacked. And so my mom walks in and she's looking at everything, and there's the boxes and stuff's just hanging out. We've just been going through it and whatever, and it's just it literally looks like the FBI ransacked the apartment. And she's looking around and she goes, "Nope, nobody's been here." So that really truly is, I think, God love her. And if there she is, the Organista.
I see she's on. Yeah.
That right there is definitely where it all started, and still today she has her secret closets that are piled up, you know what I mean? That I'm like, "Mom, what are you doing? We got to go through that." And I'm not perfect either. If you guys were to see my house right now, it definitely doesn't look like I'm an organizer, but, there's just, like I'm saying, but it was all that to say, there's no judgment. I've seen it all, and it's okay, because a lot of our physical space is a direct reflection of our inner space. So, by getting the physical space a little bit more clear and put away, it can help you to kind of, just kind of go through the internal stuff, because it is so directly connected.
I need, and laundry rooms. Laundry rooms are another catch-all. Closets, the top drawer of anything. There are places where we think we're hiding everything out.
Mine would be the top drawer, the kitchen, the right-hand drawer in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm okay with keeping things, but let's just make a designated place for it. And you don't need 25 of them. You just need 4 to 5 of them. You know what I mean? Or maybe just 2, however many we can get you down to,
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
So it's like stuff is okay as long as it's in its place.
Let's take a look at Elizabeth. She says, I moved into my new house in January and I still can't get my car in the 2-car garage for the boxes that are out there. Why do we keep our boxes boxed up and we don't look at them, but we don't want to get rid of them?
Right.
What do we do?
It's just, what are you pretending not to know? What are you not wanting to deal with in your life? You know what I mean? Like, what else is boxed up? Let's start there a little bit, and that's what Teri can help you with.
I love it when people have storage units and they will pay on them for years. Oh, am I speaking to you, Devon?
What
Storage units, and they pay on those damn things for years and they don't really know what's in it.
Hey, Organista, do you do storage units? Teri Pugh wants to know what about storage units when people pay for 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 21 years?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. It's like, let's go through it. Let's get
Lane, if you're watching
down,
We all laugh. We've got our issues with stuff, and it does represent a lot. And for me, I kept, now let's get down to the nitty gritty. I kept a lot of my father's things when he passed away. My mother sent me all of them. And I mean, my dad and I don't have the same build. I mean, his legs were short. My legs are long. I mean, I'm not going to wear his pants. I'm not going to wear, but I couldn't and we're talking a clothes horse. And so I had probably 50 boxes of my dad's clothing and I couldn't get rid of it. And one day it just started blessing people with it. And I thought, wow, these are men that are able to wear my dad's beautiful clothes to work now, like he loved to do.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
Oh, Ken has a, I love it. Okay. We were talking to you, Ken.
Oh, Ken. Yes.
Okay. You can really, tapes. You can answer this too, because you're a musician and you're a songwriter. What do you do with those old work tapes and stuff? Because you don't want them to go away. How do you organize that? And what do you do with them?
Well, definitely, hard drives become a thing and those start to stack up. But any of the old cassette tapes and stuff, I've definitely transferred everything to digital so that way I can store it that way. And it's part of the game. It's part of being a musician. So as long as you're creating, you're going to have that. But having it organized digitally in the folders and with the co-writers and things like that is kind of how I try to keep track of all that and keep that as organized as it would be if it was physical.
Nice. You have a question. Mom is weighing in. Can you read that?
Yes, we have a resident that has 3 garages. He's been here since '98, and now, oh wow, yeah. I think I know who that may be. And that particular person kept, accumulating empty boxes because, for when he might move, and it was just like, okay, but there's no need to have these, And if you're going to move, like, you can find boxes in a heartbeat, or U-Haul, they're pretty cheap. They're about as cheap as you can get unless you go all around and collect all the freebies. But, there's no need to keep all of that. It's just worry and fear,
Worry and fear.
And there's a big difference too between
Devon,
the
I can't hear
psyche.
her, so anything you can repeat or
There's a big difference on the razor's edge of hoarding and has emotional attachment with someone who walks in the house every day and drops theirs in the same spot. It could be enhanced and feel more warm and fun. Someone who can help organize that, putting a nice or something there for collection. So ask Jackie to speak a little bit on that, if you would. I know she can't hear me, so we'll just relay.
Yeah, we got it. Okay, the big H word just came up. The big H word, hoarder. Okay, there's that line. That's a whole different thing when you go in, and that's another can of emotional worms, because it really is a psychological anchor. What do you do?
Absolutely. Well, you just gotta start chipping away at it. I mean, that's all you can do. It's just one little chip away at a time, and I actually have a couple of clients that that have, to other people, that it would probably be blind hoarder, but it's more just in the designated areas that are so full, instead of like in their whole house. It hasn't taken up the entire house like a typical hoarder would be. But again, it's just the same, just dwindling it down over just little by little, because that's all we can do, and just doing a little bit at a time until we get it clear, until we get it, down to what they absolutely need, with a few backups. That's it. And just and helping them to embrace that concept of not needing all of that, that it's okay, they're okay, they don't need all of this like they thought they did, and just, it's just a thing. It's a process, like everything, and they've had it for so long. And
okay, Ken, you ready to clean it out and transfer to digital zip drive? I'm over it. You do.
Okay, Ken.
You're speaking to Ken.
Let's do it.
Then that's when you need mama. I love how your mom's jumping.
Mama.
Yeah, a can of emotional worms. That's true. I mean, we do. And I mean, I have things that I'm just connected to completely. Can I ask you, and Elizabeth's talking about, she's got a goal of July, and then she's calling you. I do this or whatever. Can you tell me a little bit about how pricing works? Is it by the hour? Is it by the job? How does that work?
It's typically by the hour or by the day, and it also depends on the job. If it's going to be, I have pretty cheap pricing compared to other organizers in and around Nashville. So, if it's me solo, I'm $50 to $75 an hour. And if I have, a team, it's $100 to $125 an hour. So, that's kind of how I do it. And I feel like that's fair. And you're not just getting organization with that. You're getting organization, you're getting design consulting, you're getting some light cleaning involved in that, because, if it's been there for years, then, it's going to have to be cleaned. We can't just move it around and leave it, So, I'm
just going to show this off one more time.
And
look,
I want to bounce in here real quick and make
1 year's worth of stuff and gunk and dust and all the things in that picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Teri's you want to speak to this?
I do. I want to jump in here real quick, and I'm going to do a word tweak. Because you know me and the words, right, Devon?
Yeah.
So Jackie just said that her rates are really cheap. And I'm going to go on the book and say they are generous and they are incredibly reasonable. Because there's nothing cheap about the service that she offers to folks. because it is truly
Mhm.
her time, her energy, her heart that she puts into all of this. And she leaves part of that there for them, so that they get to move forward. So I know she can't hear that, but I do
Well,
generously and generously
well, I'm going
discounted
to
and
relate
reason.
because it's very, hold on one second here. Ken said very fair pricing. And what Teri wants to make sure, she said, there's nothing cheap about what you offer because it's a very valuable service. That equitable,
Very
fair, those are
valuable.
words because words are important. And it's not like you're not getting a
Mhm.
cheap job, you're getting a good job, a great job. And the
Correct.
before and afters, we're going to
Yeah,
keep
for
doing
sure.
those. This is important. Let's look at what Bonnie says. It's been so hard to get rid of my
Mhm.
parents' stuff after they died. Oh, I feel you, Bonnie.
Yeah, I feel you too, girl.
I've been drowning and
Um,
finally, oh, bless you. I feel it. Yes. That's what happened to me.
I do too. Mm. But
How do we deal
I
with
really
that?
like what you said, Devon, that you got to a place where, your perspective was giving it to other people and helping other people and just knowing that other people can wear your dad's stuff, that made you feel good, like,
Mhm.
so, I would just suggest, Bonnie, depending on what type of stuff it is, that maybe there's a way to repurpose it to be used in your home or to be used somewhere else, or
It's
maybe it's there's a way to donate it so that you feel good and feel like it's getting and still used
mhm.
and like their legacy is living on.
You're giving it a second life, basically, instead of sitting in a box or a bin. Even though a lot of times what happens with stuff that we carry or we have either given to us or we collect it from our loved ones who have passed on, we associate that with the memory, and we have the memories. They're in our
Mhm.
heart and in our head. So it's the stuff that's the tangible, because they're physically not here anymore. We hang on to the tangible part of it. So, but that repurposing and re-gifting so that someone else can benefit from it's a huge blessing. And it also can allow you to feel a little freer in your decision.
Jackie, the whole idea that Teri talks about with regifting, being a gift to
Yes.
yourself, really
Mm-hmm.
that the thing that hit me one day and what helped me become not a hanger on to everything my dad. I mean, I got sent everything because I would take it basically, and they didn't know what to do with it, so they just shipped everything to me, and which is great in some respects, but it was really hard because then I was left with the responsibility. And finally I just said, they're no longer in that. The
Mm-hmm.
people I
That's
loved and
true.
associated with this, they are no longer in that. And I have these wonderful
Correct.
memories. And so I started blessing. And when I watched a man leave my yard sale with tears, how he was going to afford clothes for a new job he finally got after being unemployed for a long time. And he said, these are so nice. They're like they've never been worn. And just, but my dad was a clothes horse. And watching him walk away so excited about these breeches that were exactly his size.
Mm-hmm.
Breeches. That's what we say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's really
But
cool.
that's when you open up your heart and you go, daddy would want this. Mama would want that. Oh, Ken and I wrote a song with his lovely daughter. They don't live there anymore. Exactly. And you guys
It's true. It's true.
check that song out because it's really, they don't live there anymore. And Bonnie says, it makes it
Yeah.
final. But you know what? Your memories keep it forever.
Yeah. It does make it final, but they're still around you. They're still watching over you. I believe that, and I think that they would be okay with wanting their stuff to go to good use. So, and
Yeah.
I'm very creative, so I'm always like, well, what if we use this and turn it into this? And people are like, oh, I never thought of it like that. So I'm very resourceful and creative in those ways, since I am a creative,
It's
number one. But we didn't get to talk about that today.
Well,
we're going to, because we're gonna close with that. Terry's gonna offer some here. I'm gonna do this before and after while you talk, Terry.
yeah. I was just going to
Okay.
say, I want you guys to follow Jackie because she works with folks that have kids and, pets and single folks and all kinds of people who have all sorts of different lives. And so she has such a gift at what she does, and being able to take something that feels chaotic and creating calm is huge. And we should all enlist someone. If you don't have the natural skill set to do that, you need to look the sister up because she can help you with that. So that I'm just going to hang my hat on that nail.
Hang your hat on that nail, Terry. And the way that you can follow the Organista, Miss Jackie Wilson, the Organista, putting your stuff where it belongs. The number is 615. Is it 200-7706?
Yes, it is.
All right. And you can
Look forward
follow.
to getting any calls. Yeah.
You can follow on Instagram. Lord have mercy. People are still just, people are following. And Ken, and I got to get, let me see.
So
Love this
much.
today. Blessings, sweet ladies. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm good. It was
Thank
so
you.
much fun. And I got to play something. Can I play you and Damian Horn? Our both, we've just adopted him as our brother.
Love. Yes, he's my brother from another mother for sure.
You two, I'm going to close with a little bit of a song from you. Can I play something from
Sure.
your
Absolutely.
last virtual concert? I want to dance the Whitney Houston
Absolutely.
song, because
Oh yeah.
I'm
Sure.
just going to say, if you're going to take somebody's song and start singing it, girl, that is not a voice I'd want to try to emulate. I mean, just like, oh, what? And you went and took that song and made it yours, Miss Jackie Wilson.
She's awesome.
Well,
Right?
thank you.
Well, we're going to go a little over
Yes,
today.
my life's purpose is to promote healthy living through music. So that's, spaces, internal and external and everything. So
Y'all got to follow her.
Yeah. Follow Miss Jackie Wilson, the Organista. We're going to close with this. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm Devon O'Day. You can go to devonoday@gmail.com or Teri Pugh. How do they find you?
TeriPugh.com or right here on Facebook.
Bye, you guys.
We got any Whitney Houston fans out there? That's right, I know we do. Uh-huh. Well, if you know it, you better sing along. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Get this. Clock strikes upon